Jananim Sharadam Devim Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Shritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu. Sri Ramakrishna is describing about the householder's life and sannyasi's life. And a sannyasi should maintain absolute purity with respect to gender, awareness, dissolve it totally in the Brahmanhood and trying to see the Divine Mother everywhere, and not to have any possessions as his own. In that respect, he is continuing. That's why I did not agree to Marwadis depositing money for me with Hriday. Some Marwadis had come once. They wanted to keep some funds with Hriday so that he will be able to feed Sri Ramakrishna at all times. But Sri Ramakrishna did not agree. I said, no, I won't allow even that. If I keep money near me, it will certainly raise clouds. Darkness will come in life. Why all these strict rules for a sannyasi? It is for the welfare of the mankind as well as for his own good. A sannyasi may himself lead an unattached life and may have controlled the passion, but he must renounce woman and gold to set an example to the world. And how will he do, and for what does he do? Swamiji says, for centuries and millenniums, the householders have been protecting sannyasis, feeding them, taking care of them, making them struggle in their own spiritual life and take the responsibility of leading them to their attainments. What all protection they need, a small shelter, they would build a hut. He wants some food, time to time they would supply food so that he is able to meditate day and night on God. Now, with that understanding, Sri Vinayakananda says, now they are in trouble. They are almost fallen down, unable to stand properly. It is your time to protect them, guide them, lift them, and again set back the social order. So now you cannot enter the ascetic life anymore. Oh, the services they have given, the gratitude you have to repay by serving them like all servants in their master's home. Know this world to be belonging to God, and you are commissioned to serve them. So go ahead from door to door. Give them the knowledge of the Atman, knowledge of God, knowledge of their own reality, and make them stand up on their own legs. So this struggle, how the time shifts and the laws and regulations, that is why in Hinduism we have Shruti, which can never be altered, nor it gets altered. Like gravitational force. It never gets altered, nor its meaning is changed. But how this gravitational force is used is a different thing. How the birds glide with their own force and balance, just balancing with the gravitation. They enjoy the flight. It's like that. The same laws. The Shruti cannot be changed, but Smriti can be changed. Smriti are the constantly changing laws of nature. Nature is constantly changing, times are changing, man has to change accordingly. So rules and regulations governing, but principles will remain same. The eternal principles governing human life, the karma, karmic load, this, that, everything, nothing can be changed. But how to release yourself from this law, transcend the law and go beyond, that law no more applies, is the path. So each time to time, the incarnations come. God comes down to reset the path to the present times, those days. So we see new formation. In Hinduism itself there are 18 smritis, Manusmriti, Parashara Smriti. All these smritis are how to conduct yourself in the life. What all you think you have to do, what all things you should not do, do's and. It goes on changing. Laws today may not be applicable after 100 years. It may need a change. So that is changing, and the times do not. Even the life of sannyasin, who was like an ascetic and separately would not stay more than 3 days at a place and keep on moving. Now he has to settle down somewhere and see that the surroundings are raised to higher levels of consciousness. Because of the change of times, the responsibilities change. So, to set an example for the world, a man will have the courage to practice renunciation if he sees 100% renunciation in a sannyasi. Then only will he try to give up woman and gold. If a sannyasi does not set this example, then who will do? So it is obligatory for some to renounce as sannyasi and set an example how to live in the world. Now, there are two responsibilities in a sannyasi: how to live in the world and attain God. So, to householder he has to show not only how to renounce and go away. He is showing renunciation, but another aspect is how to live in the world and transcend the nature. The two aspects, renounce and go away, or live and transcend. Bhakti Yoga teaches live and transcend. Jnana Yoga says renounce and transcend. Give it up and transcend. In Bhakti Yoga, live and transcend. Go beyond. Live in the world, but go beyond. You are living in the world only to transcend and go. There is renouncing the world to attain the goal. Both attain the goal. So here, the sannyasi has to show how to live, how to work in the world how to seek others' welfare. All this, a life of sacrifice and universal love. The people have to cultivate the same thing. The sannyasi in an ashrama will say, look, you have only 2 children, 1 husband, a pair of parents of your husband. Only 5 people are there at home. Look at the ashrama. So many people, every day so many devotees coming and going. So many duties and responsibilities. How I manage, how we manage. Look at it, you manage your life in the same way. Unaffected by karma, offering everything in the karma, cultivate this passion, not detachment. Don't run away from anything, dispassion. Remain uninvolved, remain not being influenced, not being stained. Move about and do all your duties with great joy as an offering to divine. All these are to be taught. You see me. Now, how to live in a community, live in the same way in a family. What all things happen in the ashrama, puja, worship, this, that, same thing you do in your house also. Make your ashrama, make your house a small ashrama. Let it be replica of the whole setting up. With the same attitude, how we are doing service, how we are loving all. Try to love others. Wherever an opportunity comes and within your limits, do the service. What we are doing in a larger scale here. So this responsibility to teach how to live in the world as a householder with the same ideal of God realization is also to be shown to them, and also the part of renunciation. So when he sees renunciation, he understands that slowly, I have to remain unstained, unaffected, uninvolved, unentangled. That understanding, to remain aloof from all things and intensely be active in it. Activity, involvement is but standing aside, aloof. He is within aloof and without is running about with all. This knack of emerging out of the bonds of karma A man will have courage to practice renunciation if he sees 100% of renunciation in a sannyasi. Then only will he try to give up woman and gold. If a sannyasi does not set this example, then who will? One day, one may lead a householder's life after realizing God. It is like churning the butter from milk and then keeping the butter in water. Janaka led the life of a householder after attaining Brahmajnana. How? That is, I am not body, I am Atman. When he knows he is Atman and all pervading, he is as much there in this body as in other bodies. Everywhere he is there in his fullness. Janaka fenced with 2 swords, the one of jnana and the other of karma. 2 swords. He is fencing with 2 swords. Now look at it. the jnana and bhakti. His jnana is seeing divine everywhere in all jnana, and he is doing karma, intense activity. You see the responsibility of a king, of whole kingdom. He is responsible for every citizen, every being in this. A bird must be taken care, a plant must be taken care. They have their own grievances. When famine comes, he has to feed all these. When war happens, he has to fight alone with his army and save the citizens. So all this happen in the life of a, and that kingly, with that king is seeing divine with all the duties and responsibilities of being a king. What to speak of the ordinary people? A householder endowed with knowledge like Janaka can enjoy the fruit of both from the tree, from the ground. He can serve holy men, entertain guests, and do other things like that. I said to Divine Mother, "Oh Mother, I don't want to be a dry sadhu." See, again it comes. Now, people like Janaka can enjoy both fruit from the tree and from the ground, from the heaven and from the world of this ever-changing world. This is, you have to put efforts and gain. There it is given free. Tree gives free fruits. From ground means you have to cultivate, put hardship. You have to put hardship and grow the crop. Trees are there eternally giving, continuously giving fruits. Now, from both he could, from the spiritual and the secular, both he could enjoy. So I said to Mother, I don't want to be a dry sadhu. A dry sadhu means he is secluded, he is sitting somewhere to himself. No, internal joy also is not there, external joy also is not there. The struggle is going on. So that type of sadhu I don't want to be. After attaining Brahmajnana, one does not have to discriminate even about food. That is, who has prepared, can I eat this or not? The rishis of olden times, endowed with this knowledge of Brahman and having experienced divine bliss and everything, even pork. After attaining Brahmajnana, one does not have to discriminate even for food. What food he has to eat, whose hands he can eat, whose hands he should not eat, and all this. The rishis of olden times, endowed with the knowledge of Brahman and having experienced divine bliss, ate everything, even pork. Now, when they are in any food, now in Buddhism, you cannot prefer or ask for anything. He goes and asks for, with a begging bowl, I want this food, I want food. Whatever they put in that bowl, he has to eat. Whether it is meat or rice, or even somebody puts cow dung in his bowl, he has to eat it. Now, without discriminating, he eats whatever is put with the trust that or the people will not harm me, or whatever is be the divine will, I accept it. So they struggle, they try to attain these states. To Mahima, when we transcend the natures, once the body identity, body awareness goes off, the entire picture changes. Except love and blessing, nothing remains. And the food that they take is either by divine will or others' will or what comes by chance. Now, Svecha will dissolve away. They will not have Svecha. Parecha or Bhagavadicha. It will be others' desire or it is desire of the divine. Divine will be. So, you will not have Svecha. Parecha, he is sitting and somebody brings and gives him a fine dish. He eats, he enjoys it. It is not his icha. It is someone else's icha. Or sometimes he is going, some unknown person just puts in his hand some item that he can eat. And it is not his icha nor parecha. Somebody was carrying, he wanted to get rid of it, and he put in his hand, and that was divine will, not his will. So it must be either divine will or the will of others. He participates in taking food, this, that, having a small shelter or at least under a tree with small needs of life being supplied. To Mahima, generally speaking, there are two kinds of yoga, Karma Yoga and Mano Yoga. That is to say, union with God through work and through the mind, Mano Yoga. Kriya Yoga and Mano Yoga. I am communing with God, I am one with God through my bhavana, mind, feelings. So, mind and feelings become one in spiritual practices. And other thing is, he is wanting to, through action. This is Karma Yoga. The principle of Karma Yoga is in and through action, you are communing with God. When your actions are going to become, you are communing with God. You are exchanging your feelings with God. You are talking to God. You are thinking of God. You are exchanging your feelings with God. When it happens in and through work, now I am plowing in the field or working in a factory. Can you, this work itself, plowing work, while working in the, I am going to get remuneration. Can I commune with God in and through this action I am doing? Yes. How to convert this action into communion with God? Try to see the whole background as divine. All this is God's. Another side, who is doing it? The body is God's, mind is God's, senses are God's, all things, whatever I possess as mine is God. Whatever I see externally is God. And when I am doing actions and works, How can there be anything that is mine? I am communing with God through all the actions and feelings, because heart belongs to God, mind belongs to God, body belongs to God. So here we see all things happening with the God as the whole background. So then alone, the background is transferred. You see the divine. Within you, you see the divine. The whole action is happening. Body-mind complex belongs to divine. Try to see divine. Then you will see it is transcending the limits and going beyond. There are 4 stages of life: Brahmacharya, Garihastya, Vanaprastha and Sannyasa. This is not man-made laws. It happens. You see the life of, this is organized way of passing through the same ordeal that nature has placed before man. How man slowly grows, you see. As a young boy in the school or a young boy in the world, as a child it comes, infancy, then balya, the childhood days, then the youth, and he is becoming fully grown up. And till this full growth of body and mind, to 12 years, 24 years, this is the period of his early life. In this period, this is the student's period where he grows. And this student period or the span is where he cultivates all the necessities of bhavana, kriya, and whole the heart is set to the grahastha jivana, which is a life of constant sacrifice. In sacrifice, he has to sacrifice for the family, for the new family that has been built up. Then he has to work for other things. Now, like the nation, humanity, the society in which he lives, the nature around, all duties he has duty towards all this, and he has to do all that nicely. So the student life is a preparation for this. And as he is passing through the married life of grahastha ashrama, taking all the responsibility of earning dharma, artha, kama, he has to constantly prepare from the early life to follow dharma and reach moksha. And in this householder's life, and particularly how the nature is making him grow, he grows with the world. And when the middle ages come, middle ages are ending, it is slowly climbing down. It has climbed to the zenith, and from zenith it is coming down. Now it is a time that he is unable to do much work and activities. Body is crumbling down, senses are crumbling down, mind is not working. And this is the period his dependence on nature comes back like any other animal. Animals, when they becoming old, they cannot go for grazing here and there. Whatever is available nearby, it eats. Like that, it is vanaprastha time. And last, to attain mukti, he gives up all things and surrenders his body, mind, everything, all his knowledge back to God to attain him. This is the sannyasa. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.